Hello, everybody. I'm here with the amazing psychic Liz Cross. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling amazing. Yay. And I'm so excited for Halloween tomorrow. Oh, and you are having parties down there, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've got to a few things, but I'm not going to go too crazy. And I pride my sleep, so it's more important to me. It's never worth it to stay up all night anymore, for me, anyways.
Is
Um,
that what they do? Stay up all night?
yeah, I mean, a lot of people do, for sure. I mean, the local people here love to stay up late. It's like they're eating dinner late, they're staying up late, and I'm going to bed. So.
That's awesome. What do you have for us today, please, Mr. Photon?
Well, I mean, we're going to do kind of a Bitcoin probe. We're going to look at MicroStrategies and a few other things related to that. Uh, well, I mean, we just kissed the all-time high. We didn't surpass it yesterday. So today is the 30th of October. And for those of you that have been paying attention, we did a really good kind of forecast for Bitcoin going out into the future a few weeks ago now. So we're just going to do a little bit of an update on that to see how we're going. So far, we're right on cue with that forecast that you gave that we found. So we're going to have a little bit of a look at that. Um, okay, so let's bring in a few people. So, we can bring in Michael Saylor for sure. Um, might as well bring in Mr. Hal Finney, even though he doesn't like to talk about price. He's still, our Bitcoin expert. Um, But you know who else does the like to talk about price is our friend John. So maybe we can bring him in too. So he's not afraid to.
Yes, yes. And for those of you who don't know who our friend John is, he's MCAFEE, is it? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want to say his name.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at where we are now. So we're currently at 71,000 Bitcoin, 71,800,000 Bitcoin, and 71,800 Bitcoin. Sorry. With the all-time high, at least on this chart, I'm looking at Binance. So it's going to be different on everybody's different exchange, but this is just a pretty good estimate. We were just shy of the all-time high on Binance by what, just a few $100s. So we were
Mm.
right there. We're basically just kissed it. And maybe there were some other exchanges where it was closer, or maybe we even went over a little bit, but I didn't see that. But what we did, probe a few weeks ago was that around this time, we would essentially go back up to the top of the range in October. And that's exactly what we did. I think we were down here in the low 60s when we did that probe, something like that. And so indeed, over the last while, we've come back up to the top, like literal top of the range. You couldn't get any closer to the top of the range. So we definitely called that. And then we got that we would break the all-time high in not until November. So far that is true. There's still 24 hours or more left for that to stay true. So we'll see if we can stay on track with that. So I guess in this probe, we want to know now that we're at the end of the month, like where are we going from here? We also want to look at MicroStrategies as well, because that really has been a leveraged play on Bitcoin. Now they had their earnings for the year, I guess, come out not too long ago, with everybody else, all the major companies. And one thing that was funny is that, everybody talks about it, Nvidia as being, like, oh, that was you should have invested in that. But technically, if you look at compare the two charts, MicroStrategy actually did outperform Nvidia like by a little bit, just by a tiny bit. So it really has been a leverage play on Bitcoin. So if you bought MicroStrategies down at the lows, of Bitcoin in 2022, I mean, you outperformed Bitcoin, I believe, and you also outperformed Nvidia because it really is like a leveraged play on Bitcoin. And if you're a member with us, I don't know, I can't remember if you talked about this publicly, so we won't say maybe until the second part of this video of all the strategies that you've come up with to kind of benefit from those mentioned stocks and Bitcoin as well. So maybe we'll cover those in the second part of this video.
Yeah.
So let's see what we can do for now. So obviously the election is right around the corner. We're not going to make a prediction on that. But we can talk about how Bitcoin may or may not do over the course of the next week. So when is the election? November 2nd?
The election is going to be Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
5th. The 5th is
Mm-hmm.
okay. And obviously I'm not American, so I don't have a horse in the race there, but and I'm not 100% familiar with how things go, but from memory serves me, it probably is going to take a few days or so to get the results in. So it won't be like November 5th happens and everybody knows who the president is, most likely, right? So given that, what are we thinking next week? Can we pull everybody out to like the what would be a good day? Maybe like the 10th of November would be realistic.
So I can't move spirits out, but I
Oh,
can
right.
ask them, but I can move
Mr.
entities out. So
We
let's
can,
move Bitcoin out.
I don't know. I think Bitcoin's going to be biased. I think we should add, I mean, all these people are going to be biased to some degree, but
Michael Saylor, I can move him out.
yeah, let's move Michael Saylor out
All
to,
right, let's go. It's been a while since I've spoken to Sailor. Let's go. November 10th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight. Ooh, he just corrected me. All right. Let me start over. Ugh. Little things like that in remote viewing, it makes a huge difference. Here we go again. November 10th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because we do change our clocks on Saturday. What would you like to know?
well, have we broken the all-time high of Bitcoin, which, by this chart would be 73,000, we'll say 73,900 dollars. Let's just say $73,900. Have we
Did
broken the all-time high yet?
all-time high in the past week. Do we break the all-time high? Yes, I feel like it goes up to 75.
Okay. Okay. All right. And so we're not going to make a prediction on who wins the election, but obviously it does have an effect to some degree. I think personally, though, either way, you'd have a bull market. It's just maybe, one way or the other might be a little bit more less dramatic or more dramatic, perhaps.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's interesting. All right, let's find out what day is he saying that is? Is that on election day or is that after election day?
Is this, do we break out past? Now, this is based upon quantum probabilities, so the
Yeah.
most likely outcome of where we are today. Things
Yeah.
can change, but I always have to preface it with that. Did we break out? Did we push past the all-time high before election day? No, I feel like we're just right there. And on election day, did we break Bitcoin's all-time high? I feel it was just going into the next day. So it's either very late on election day or going into the next day.
Yeah.
And then it breaks past goes past the all-time high. And what is the all-time high again, Mr. Photon?
I'm just gonna call it at 73,900.
73,900. Did Bitcoin reach $73,900? It went over that.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that on November the 6th or November the 5th? Did this happen? Did Bitcoin go past its all-time high on November the 5th, 2024? No, it's November the 6th. 6th or
Okay.
7th, thereabouts. Okay.
Yeah,
And
whenever we
then
try and get like really granular information, I'm always, a little bit skeptical just because of the quantum probabilities. But, the basic information is that we break the all-time high, around that election time. So that's kind of like I would more bank on that than anything, than calling it to the hour or whatever, right? Or the number.
right. Right. Yeah, you can't do that. I had somebody send me a probe request and they wanted me to probe the stock market hour by hour by candle. And I was like, dude, I'm not doing that. So what is interesting is, first of all, I have to call two things. Well, I have to call one thing. M and I can't remember what it is. Oh, yes, I do. Where we are going into a bull market and economic recovery here in the US. Today, the budget came out in the UK and it is doom and bloody gloom, right? That's a hit. I said where we start inching our way into economic recovery, the UK starts to tank. And even 5 years out, the UK never catches up to the rest of the countries that are reaching economic recovery and then going, sailing past that. The UK stays behind. That's a hit. The budgets come out today. And even in the UK, they had a massive sell-off in their markets today, just in anticipation of the budget coming out, because tax, double tax, triple tax. I mean, you are going to be taxed to the bloody, I don't know, eyeballs with the government in power at the moment. So people just completely, there was a massive sell-off. And so that's a hit. The second thing I want to bring to everybody's attention, can you bring up MSTX, please, Mr.
Okay,
Photon?
before we start talking about that, I think we should
Ah,
continue on the other side.
sorry. Okay. All right. Well, we'll stop this one here. For those of you that would like part two, you want to be in on this information, you're in the know before all the events unfold, come to patreon.com/remote viewing and beyond. That is in the comments, as well as Mr. Photon's tip jar and his email address, because he does do crypto consults.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.